I'm Kelly Ferguson, and this is my husband, Walt, and we've got two daughters, Neely Wynn, who's 4, and then Faith, who's 17 months. Neely Wynn is just a superstar. She's so independent and wants to do everything on her own. She just loves to color and to just be with us. And Faith idolizes her older sister, wants to do everything that she's doing. She's a little fighter.
They're pretty opposite personalities. Neely Wynn is very calm and laid back and go with the flow, whereas Faith, she's the rambunctious one and her way or the highway, and she doesn't get what she wants, you know, she'll let you know, so they complement each other nicely, and it's been fun to watch. We got pregnant pretty easily with Neely Wynn, but it wasn't the same with Faith, and so when we got the news, it was exciting, and we didn't know the gender at the time. It was going to be a surprise. So Faith was rolling along pretty smoothly. We were going in for a 36-week appointment. I could tell pretty quickly that something was a little off, just the way the sonogram went. They were trying to get the baby to move. They sent us back to the doctor's room, and our doctor was great, but he's very just blunt and tells you, doesn't beat around the bush. So he said, there's a problem. We didn't sense any movement in the baby, and I think we were both, like any parent would be, pretty taken back of, that's not good, what does that mean? And he said, well, we need to get this baby out. And we said, when? And he said, right now. I've already called the hospital to let them know you're coming. I'll meet you over there.
They rushed me into emergency C-section, got me prepped for surgery.
I called my parents. They knew we had the appointment, and they said, is everything okay? And I said, no. I think the main thought through our head was that our child wasn't going to make it.
When we went into the operating room, the team was just incredible. They just made me feel so comfortable, both of us so comfortable, that this was an emergency C-section, but it's gonna be okay. But I was terrified, and our doctor got Faith out in 7 minutes, and within the first 2 minutes of her life, they resuscitated her, and intubated her, and they whisked her away before I could hold her or see her.
I didn't know the baby was out, actually, at first. The anesthesiologist reached down to me and kind of patted me on the back. Kelly's still on the operating table, and said, you have a beautiful daughter. And that was kind of when it hit me that maybe things are going to be okay.
When you first have your baby, you get to hold your baby. So that was really hard for me to not be able to hold Faith at first. Faith was in the NICU for 6 weeks, 42 days. The 2 nurses that were on Faith were so welcoming and so friendly because we were scared to death. We didn't know what was going on. We had so many questions, and I felt like they just made us feel so comfortable.
When the doctor came to talk to me in the NICU, he said, the blood test confirmed what I thought it was. Your child has gone through a fetal maternal hemorrhage. I need to make a decision pretty quickly, and I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I just wanted to run it by you. We're gonna put her in a cooling process, a hypothermic cooling process to cool her body down.
But she's a beautiful little girl.
The next hurdle was to breathe on her own. They took her off the first time and she didn't do it on her own, so they intubated her again. The next day they tried a second time, took her first steady breaths on her own, and that was an amazing feeling. And there were cheers around the bed with the nurses and the doctors.
I'll never forget, we were out trick-or-treating with Neely Wynn, and I got a call, and it said Ascension Seton on my phone, and of course I panicked and I handed the phone to Walt, and as soon as you picked up the phone, the nurse, it was Teresa, said, everything's okay, I just want you to know that you can finally come in and hold Faith. When I held her in my arms, it was like the world stopped, and I felt like everything was okay. The nurses were angels on earth, truly. They were so welcoming, comforting. They became my friends. They became family.
We had a team, I think, of 10 to 12 come around, everything from respiratory folks, nutrition folks, cardiologists, neurologists, kind of everybody. It was amazing that there was such a team.
On Halloween, one of the nurses made Faith a little Halloween costume, and each of the nurses made their babies Halloween costumes. They're attached to the baby, and they just want nothing for the best for them.
Lots of hours before. I promise you.
Faith, she's doing amazing, really, truly amazing. She took her first steps recently, and that was just so exciting. We were just praising the Lord for that. Neely Wynn is the most loving big sister. She just loves on Faith, kisses on her, just wants to help her, teach her.
Our team is constantly aware of the challenge that it is for every family who comes through the neonatal intensive care unit to be there. It's not part of anybody's birth plan. But when you need a NICU, we're very blessed here in Austin to have an ecosystem that provides the very best care for the sickest mothers and the sickest babies within Central Texas.
In life, things happen that you don't expect, and they're out of your control. And some things so serious as a trip to the hospital, the emergency room, you need those people. I couldn't think of anybody that's more critical and important than doctors and nurses, and what they do is just amazing. And for the rest of my life, I'll support them however I can. It's an amazing organization.